Hey everyone, welcome to Studio Kids. Ameen here. Today we're going to work on a still life composition. We are going to learn how to draw objects accurately by comparing them to each other. We're going to learn about how to show if objects are in front or behind and how to overlap. So if you're ready, let's get started. I'm going to hit pause. We'll go over our supplies for today and start drawing. So for today you are going to need your sketchbook, pencil, sharpener, eraser, chalk pastels. So those are soft pastels, not oil pastels and not crayons. They smudge. And a couple of different colors. We're also going to need things to draw. If you can gather up some glass objects in different sizes, so at least 3, maximum 5, make sure that they're all different sizes. And try to find 1 or 2 that are square, that are flat on the bottom, okay? So this one's flat, the rest are all round. We want a combination of those because we want to show how to draw those, all right? So let's begin. So with my first drawing, I have my objects lined up all in a row. They are drawn all in a row. So you can see here that they're all on the same level, the same line. If we add one more object to our little still life here, if I add this, let's add this. And let's put it so that it's in front. How would we draw that? It's also a bit of a curve. With our first 3 objects, we have a round jar. This is flat and this is flat. So the bases of them, the flat ones, straight lines. But the round ones, this has to be drawn on a curve, okay? This is curved, the top of it's curved, this curve and this curve, they're matching curves. So let's draw together our new object. All right, we're going to add this glass to this drawing. So right now I've got my 3 objects all in a row. To draw this accurately, we need to take a few little measurements. So the things I'm going to look at is I am comparing this to this. So this is going to be one point of reference. The front of it is going to be another point of reference. And down here, this is going to be our 3rd point of reference, where we're just going to put little marks where we think those spots are. So this part here, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to say, you know what? That comes up a little bit higher than halfway. From here to here, it's about here. It's almost in the middle. So if I find the middle point here, middle point's about here, and I want to go a little bit higher. Right there is where the top back of my glass is going to be. And this, if I look at it, drops down to about here. So it's lower than middle, maybe about there. It is almost touching. So this edge is almost touching. So the top, so if that's kind of where that is, somewhere around here is going to be the middle point on this side. And then the width of it, how wide is it? So if I measure it like that, and maybe I look at one of our wider objects over here. So this is bigger than my bottle. So if I take my bottle, measure my bottle, move that over, that would put the edge right here. We want to go a little bit bigger. So now I have a point here, a point here, point here, and right here. That is my top shape. So this is a curve. And when it gets to here, it also curves. And here it curves. And it also curves in the front. Takes a little bit of practice, and this is where you're going to need an eraser to get those curves in if you didn't get them the first time. Then, when I look at this glass, I notice that the sides, they are not straight up and down, okay? They're tilted slightly. Tilted slightly. But first we need to find out how far down is this. If I look at the back of the glass, even that is lower than this. So I know that the back of that glass is going to be somewhere around here because the side pokes into the front. So you know where the middle is. So there's the middle. If I draw this at a slight angle and draw this at a slight angle, tapering in, and here to here, it's about there. So it's not halfway up the glass, it's just a little bit. So I'm gonna put it right in here. So we have our nice round curve here. This curve and the bottom of the glass are the same curve. Here's another curve in here. That is about a third of the way down. So I'm going to add that in here. Now I can start adding a few more of the details. With this glass, this flattens out, and this flattens out, and this flattens out. Pick it up, maybe we can see that a little bit better, how it goes flat. But to get it drawn accurately, we have to start with the curve first. So I've got my curve in, I've got my curve in, and now I'm going to put these points in. So I've got one here and one here, and it goes up a little bit of a bump. And then the next one comes to here on the curve again, and now we draw another little curved line, and that one ends at that bump. And we've got one back here. So those land on the curve. And these come down at a bit of an angle. And a bit of an angle. And now we can soften this up a little bit and draw this flat. So that gets flattened out. This goes to that point, and this one goes back. And that one goes back even further. Our glass has a bit of thickness to the bottom of it, and that we can very clearly see, so we can add that in. Now we have those flat bits in. Tapers in a bit, and we have the bases of our glass. You can keep drawing in detail, but now we have all of these things shown in front, in a row. These are flat, this is curved. So the bottom has to have a curve, flat ones stay flat. Our measuring we did when we compared objects to something else, right? So this and this, our green bottle is slightly smaller than this bottle. So the biggest one, it was drawn first, then the next one. And yeah, let's take a look at some colored examples. I have another example here. So I have my large jar with its curved base, the cup in the front, and the little orange, it's like a little vase in the back. So this is in front, then this one, and then this one is the farthest behind. So it goes up a little bit higher, but it's not as tall as this. So when we draw it on the paper, we want to make sure that it's not going higher than this one. We can draw them in color, put them all in a row. So again, this shows all of our objects in a row together, showing their sizes. So we've got our tallest green bottle with its flat bottom. Next comes our yellow jar. And notice how the width of it, you could fit 1, 2, and a little bit as far as the width. So we show that with this, 1, 2, and a little bit. The height of it, compare it to where the curve starts of this top of the bottle. So we line it up with that. Next in our row is this glass, again lower. It's about the same width. So I make little measurements and put in little marks as to where the width is going to be. Curves, and then our last object. Showing all of these things overlapping. So now we have behind. These two are in a row, and this is in front. So to draw them, I drew my green bottle first because it's going to be the tallest on the page. I wanted to make sure that I had the space for that there. Then I drew my yellow jar, followed by my orange cup, and then I made this little one blue in the front. And that is our lesson for today. So you can follow me, YouTube, Ameen Dhillon, blog, studiokids.com. You'll see a bunch of pictures, lessons that I've done over the last 10 years there, and we'll be adding lessons here, trying for once a week. See you next time.